Okay, Scorpios, before your reading, I heard that you are about to discover a source code. Now, this source code is going to provide you with a new operating system to navigate your everyday waking life with. Think about it as a new belief system. I feel that there's some sort of epiphany that's going to take place in your life. You're going to begin to see things differently. And this new operating system and or belief system is going to allow you to quantum leap into a whole new reality. I feel that there's a lot of things waiting for you, Scorpio. It's not a matter of you needing to bring anything else into your life. It's just a matter of shifting your perception so you can align yourself with this new optimal timeline where this new reality is waiting for you. What do we have at the foundation of the reading, please? The moon, Pisces energy at the foundation. What do we have at the sacral, please? Too many cards. What do we have at the sacral, please? King of Swords, air energy. And what do we have at the solar plexus, please? Hierophant, Taurus energy at the solar plexus. Now, immediately with this moon card, I'm drawn to the opening message because that moon card is speaking about the subconscious mind. This is your perception. This is the way you're perceiving your reality. This is where the shift is taking place. It has little to do with your material environment or your everyday circumstances, and more about the way you perceive all of the dynamics of your life as a whole, Scorpio. Now, the King of Swords at the sacral is telling me that there's some cutting away that you're going to be doing in your life. I feel that you are in this season where you're reevaluating things. You're reevaluating what makes you happy. You might be reevaluating what it is you actually want for your life. Overall, there's this energy where you're putting some sort of strategy together here with the King of Swords at the sacral, and you're figuring out what it's going to take to get you to some sort of target that you have. And I feel that this target is just another way of speaking about this new timeline that you're preparing to quantum leap into. So the opening message is very much already showing up in these three cards here. So already we're seeing how this energy here aligns perfectly with the opening message. Now, the Hierophant at the solar plexus is what this is all about. I feel that you are breaking away from some sort of tradition, some sort of societal norms, something that you might have always felt was expected of you. And right as I said that, I started to get a bit hoarse in my throat. And when that happens, when I'm channeling, it's to put emphasis on what I'm saying there. I'm also getting a message here, Scorpio, surrounding some sort of energetic cords that have been tying you to a specific environment. And for a lot of you, I'm hearing that this is going to be directly related to family dynamics. Yeah, there's an energy here. I'm picking it up in the channeling intuitively. Okay, Scorpio, let me put it this way. You are the sign of transformation. You are the sign of death and rebirth. You are the phoenix that rises up out of the ashes. That's what your archetype represents. Now, typically people are going to face pushback from the opposite side of their archetype. So what I mean by this is, if your archetype is that of transformation, you are going to go through karmic cycles where environments, people, situations, even yourself, your own limiting beliefs, your own mindsets, your own behavioral patterns will make it more difficult for you to transform. So your highest potential is going to be in opposition with some sort of dark, lower vibrational force for most of your life. And the way you overcome this was in that opening message. It's all about perception. It's you just really realizing that this is how your path works. This is what it's all about. See, the universe is always trying to expose our own kryptonite to us, the thing that is in direct opposition with our superpower. And I feel that this season that you're stepping into right now is exposing all of those things in your life, Scorpio. And yes, even though we said that this is something that you're going to be going through subconsciously, it's going to be more on a mental level, a spiritual level as well. It's going to be directly connected to things that are showing up in your environment. So you'll start to notice how that mindset is creating an environment. And once you do this, you're going to start using that in your favor. It's like saying, okay, if where I'm at in my life is a direct result of how I think about myself in accordance with my path, then I should be able to use this in my favor if You are dissatisfied with where you're at in your life right now, Scorpio. And, you know, when it comes to being a Scorpio, even though you're a fixed sign and you like your comfort, you like your routine, it doesn't mean that you're not always trying to up level and transform. It just means that you're trying to constantly improve upon the very foundation by which you are standing on in that moment. And a simple way to think about this, Scorpio, is you are always trying to make the absolute best out of what you have. And that's also built into the Scorpio archetype. And this is the fundamentals to your own personal relationship that you keep with the universe. The universe puts you in a situation, the universe brings things into your life, and your scorpionic nature tries to make the absolute best out of it. And by doing this, the universe just continuously gives you more. This is the abundant mindset. And as a Scorpio, this is how you access your own personal abundance, because the universe loves when you try to make the absolute best out of something, because it says that you're grateful for what you have. Whether it's a little or a lot, it doesn't make a difference to you. What do we have at the heart, please? Queen of Cups, water energy at the heart. Now, Scorpio, this King of Swords, Hierophant, and Queen of Cups is telling me that you are going through the season where you're healing from some sort of outdated belief systems that may have been pressed upon you. It's to say that maybe you grew up in some sort of childhood dynamics and there were certain things that were expected of you. And now that you've gotten to this point on your path, you're starting to realize that you want to go a different way because that path isn't really for you. This is a really basic way of thinking about breaking generational conditioning, things that aren't aligned with the path that the universe chose for you. And this is never an easy feat. This is something that's very difficult to overcome in your life. But with this Queen of Cups at the heart, I feel that not only are you going through this season where you are preparing to quantum leap onto this new timeline, but there's a twofold message in that you are going through the healing process regarding all of the things that were holding you back at the exact same time. And I just heard heal and jump, heal and jump. It's like it's happening incrementally speaking. I feel that you are also starting to recognize in your own life that every time you put some focus on these areas that need healing, there's another area of your life that maybe has some sort of expansion. Now, this is a very simple example on what it's like when you go through the ascension process. The more you release, the more you move forward. Every time you sacrifice something that's not for your highest good, you get a little bit of expansion in another area of your life. That's what I'm seeing here, Scorpio. And I feel that it's gotten to the point now where it's so obvious that you yourself can't deny it. Wow, things are changing in my life after so much stagnation, after so much time, quite possibly for some of you decades inside these karmic cycles where there was no movement. And then you just put your focus on the right area of your life and boom, you start to get some sort of movement. This is what we're picking up inside this energy. And when this sort of thing unfolds in your life, Scorpio, it's always mind-blowing because you're getting movement in an area of your life where you just never thought it would happen. You thought it was a done deal. Like, that's just the way it was. This is your life now. This is the hand you've been dealt, and you might as well make the best of it, which is the key to all of this, because your focus on trying to make something the best it could possibly be has allowed you to notice that something has been off. It's like spending so much time in these spaces has opened up your mind in a new kind of way, Scorpio. Going back to the opening message, your perception is changing, and this is what is allowing this movement now. You've been in certain spaces for so long. You know the ins and outs of all of this. You've made the absolute best with what you've been given, and it shifted your perception, and you've started to see that there was something inside that space that maybe you didn't notice in the capacity you're noticing it now. So what we're going to do is quantum leap you forward, because the work that you have put into this space is going to go ahead and take care of the next few steps as well. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Magician. So I feel like you have completely mastered something, Scorpio, which is why all of this is taking place. I feel that you decided to be patient with something. You decided to hone your skills, hone your crafts. There's something here where you have become very well studied in a certain sector of your life. There's a certain expertise level that you hold now that I don't think you had maybe a year or two ago. So this goes back to what we've been saying in regards to you making the best out of something. You know, it's like saying, all right, well, I guess I'm stuck here for a while, so I'm going to completely master this. I'm going to know the ins and outs. I'm going to know everything about this. It's like you have figured out every last detail to something, Scorpio. What do we have at the throat, please, Spirit? Chariot, Cancer energy in reverse at the throat. Now, the Chariot in reverse is an energy of feeling like giving up. It's an energy that's lacking self-discipline and focus. Overall, it's an energy of self-doubt. And I feel that this is really highlighting some sort of limiting belief inside of you that you have been healing with this Queen of Cups. Now, I'm hearing for a number of you, this is something that you inherited from family dynamics. And as you've been moving forward on your path, you have been world building with this mindset. And what this is telling us, especially given the fact that this card is at the throat chakra, so the way you communicate with yourself, you're improving the relationship you keep with yourself. So all of this is beginning to tie together because we can see now how you improving the relationship with yourself, doing the necessary healing work on those specific limiting beliefs is allowing for this expansion now. It's like the universe said, hey, Scorpio, go ahead and wait over here and just get to know that space, get to know that energy, get to know yourself like you've never known yourself before. Just really figure out all the ins and outs of that particular environment. And that's what you've done here. Now, this Chariot card in reverse is you realizing that the only person that has ever gotten in your way, the only person that has ever stopped you from moving forward down a particular path or one direction or another is you, because you have found a new level of control over yourself and the way that you interface with your reality. You know, no matter who comes across your path, no matter what obstacles come into your life, you always hold the power to navigate these situations according to your highest good. And this is something that all Scorpios have to figure out. Scorpios are very reactive signs. So in your younger years, it's like you realize you have this kind of superpower, but you don't really know how to focus it yet. It's like when a superhero is trying to learn how to control these overwhelming abilities that they have. It requires some sort of training or emotional discipline. And then right on the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Wands. So the Queen of Wands is an energy of self-mastery. So this is following the message perfectly, because what I just mentioned in regards to the superheroes needing to learn how to control their powers, this is telling us that you are very much preparing to have this quantum leap because you have mastered your own superpowers. What do we have at the third eye, please? Okay, we have the Mob at the third eye. And then Seven of Cups, Scorpio, that is your energy in reverse at the Crown. Now, Scorpio, whenever I get this Mob card, especially in a reading like this, it's telling me that you are preparing to go through some sort of level up, the quantum leap, let's just say. And this causes people in your environment to have a visceral reaction. It's like they don't know what's happening, but they can just sense something. And it wakes up like a mob, right? It's like, here you are, just trying to be the best you can be. And then all of a sudden, there's all these people coming for you. Like, you can't do that. Get back in line. You need to stay inside this societal norm. What's expected of you. You can't go down that path. And you're like, what the hell? It's like you begin to see something that you didn't see before. And it's like the universe is like, yeah, we know. This is what we've been trying to warn you about. As soon as you start becoming the best version of yourself, you're going through this season of leveling up. It's like your environment responds to you going through this transformational level up. And you can never prepare yourself for this. You always hear about it, but you don't believe it until it actually happens. You just start to see people's true colors. And a lot of the times these people don't even know what they're doing. It's just built into their lower nature, and they see you as a part of that lower nature. They see you as a part of the environment that they've always been in with you. And so how dare you level up? How dare you want to be better? How dare you become the greatest version of yourself? Who do you think you are? That's what I get from this Mob card. And it's right there at the third eye. So this is impacting your perception, which goes all the way back to the very beginning of the reading. It could be the reaction from your environment that triggers that shift in perception, right? Like I mentioned in regards to the source code. The source code is what allows you to install the new operating system, right? Which the operating system is a metaphor for the way you interface with your reality, for your perception. And it's interesting because you were just putting work into yourself. And then this energy's visceral reaction to all of that is what gives you the final push. It's very much a, oh my God, I got to get out of here. I don't know these people. I thought I did, but clearly I don't. Until you've been through this, Scorpios, it sounds absurd to hear this, but it is so real. And I say this as somebody who's gone through this. And for those of you that don't know, I'm a Scorpio, sun and rising. So I know all about the process of transformation. But that initial transformation, that first one that you go through, is always the most mind-blowing, because that's when things like this happen. That's when you actually start to see the environment respond to all the work you're putting into yourself. And there's nothing that can prepare you for that. And even once you're on the other side of it, you always look back and you're like, did that even really happen? I still can't even process that. Because it hits you on such a deep spiritual level that it almost doesn't make sense that it's happening in the third dimension, in the third density. There's certain laws that need to be adhered to. We don't really have any control over this, but it's something that's universal. So there's certain things we're not going to be able to see inside this particular reality because it's the third density, right? So when it comes to spirituality, it's not like we're seeing spirits flying around all the time everywhere. You may have some sort of moment to yourself and have your own particular relationship with things that can cause you to maybe see things or interact with things. But this is one of these situations here where what takes place feels otherworldly, and it doesn't make sense within the third dimensional laws of the way you are navigating your reality. And that right there is the fundamental key to you accessing this source code, installing this new operating system, and going through the quantum leap. Now, the Seven of Cups at the crown is following everything we're saying beautifully, because the Seven of Cups in reverse is an energy of self-delusion. It's a message where you are trying to connect some sort of logic to what is taking place in your life right now. Even though you see this, the mob waking up, you're experiencing all these otherworldly events unfold around your life, you still try to convince yourself, nah, that's not happening. I can't be seeing this. I can't be going through this. And the universe is saying to you, no, Scorpio, what you're seeing is correct. This is really one of these situations when the phrase, the veil is being pulled back, makes sense, because that's what this is here. It's like the universe is pulling back the curtain between the spirit world and the third density right now, so you can get a little look-see into what's really going on here. It's like, hey, Scorpio, come over here. Let us show you something. And the universe pulls back the curtain and you're like, what? What's going on here? You know, Scorpio, I feel that all this is really speaking about a moment that you're having with the universe. It just feels like there's something going on with the relationship between yourself and source, whoever you perceive that to be. And the universe needs you to believe what it is you're feeling, what it is you're seeing. What do we have at the foundation, please? Empress, Libra, Taurus, Venusian energy at the foundation. Now, the Empress card from this particular deck is an energy that's trying to block you. I feel that you have been dealing with energies, Scorpio, that have this crabs in the barrel mentality. So it's like they see you growing, and instead of trying to help you, instead of trying to nurture this growth potential that they see inside of you, they just want to project their own insecurities onto you so you're not able to grow and expand. Very, very simple message here, and I think that this is partially what is being exposed to you right now. And for those of you that have already left these sorts of dynamics behind, it's that you are beginning to have a new perception take shape in regards to the communities and environments that you have since graduated on from. And Scorpio, as somebody who's gone through a lot of what I'm channeling here myself at one point or another. I gotta say that your perception around these certain situations is forever changing. You could be far removed from certain spaces, from certain environments, but then tomorrow you wake up and you have this whole newfound perspective, something new in regards to those situations. You see a different detail. You feel differently about your life. You start to feel closer to source, and you start to sense that there's even more meaning behind your life than you thought before. That's what I'm getting here. And a lot of the times, this stuff just takes time. The universe doesn't really overload us with information. It gives it to us in little pieces. And even though this feels like you being overloaded, this is nothing in comparison to what's really going on behind the scenes, Scorpio. This is just, again, as we mentioned, a little peek behind the curtain, but it's enough to get the wheels turning here. So if I was to really summarize everything I'm getting right here, this energy right here is what's being exposed to you. It's the truth that's coming to light. What do we have at the sacral, please? Eight of Swords, Gemini energy underneath the King of Swords at the sacral. Now, this Eight of Swords is taking us all the way back to the message that I channeled through earlier on in the reading about there being absolutely nothing that can get in your way from this moment forward. That's what the Eight of Swords represents. This is you realizing that perception is everything, and there's simply no person in your reality that is powerful enough to hold you back at this point in the game. The only thing that could ever get in your way, Scorpio, is your own mind. That's it. And that's what the Eight of Swords underneath the King of Swords is truly enforcing in this reading. It's saying that nobody can ever put the fire out in your belly, right? Sacral energy right there. It's all about the fire in your belly. If that goes out, it's because of your own doing. It's because of your own lack of self-confidence and drive. And it's important to really understand what it is we're saying here, Scorpio. Okay? Because in a lot of cases, for you Scorpios that are sort of just starting out on this path, you're going to come up with a million excuses as to why you can't do something. It's just a part of the transformation process. You go through all that until you realize, actually, it's my perception that needs to shift. And with my shifting perception comes me making big moves in my life. Maybe those moves see you getting away from certain environments that bring out that lower nature in you, that have a way of triggering those insecurities. These are all very real things. You know, even though we have to take full responsibility for ourselves, that also means that it's up to us to really dissect our environments. Is there energies around that support or not? If there's not, you need to do something about it. You can't change people. And if these are environmental factors and there's a lot of people in the environment, the only thing here that can really change is you. You need to remove yourself. So when you start to look at everything from that perspective, then you very much see how you hold the power in any situation. You don't need to put yourself in front of somebody who doesn't support you. You don't need to put yourself in front of somebody who brings out the lower aspects of your nature. You can do something about that. Rather than giving those other energies the power, you hold that power back and you make the moves that you need to make in order to do what you came here to do. And that's what the Eight of Swords is all about. What do we have at the solar plexus, please? Eight of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the solar plexus. Now, the Eight of Pentacles from this deck is an energy that's lacking ambition or focus. And given the fact that it's right underneath that Hierophant there, further indicating that some sort of organization, some sort of group think is making it more difficult to function as the greatest version of yourself. So it's supporting the message we just gave there. So this is you breaking away from this outdated belief system, these societal norms, these environmental factors, these family dynamics, that toxic relationship, that toxic friends group, whatever it is there. You do something about that and then you get the movement. As we mentioned, there's nothing you can do when you're in those spaces. You can't force other people to change and transform to align with your own needs. It doesn't make any sense when we put it that way, but how many of us stay inside these dynamics until we figure it out? For most of us, decades before we say, you know what? I can't change anybody. I can't get anybody to see what it is I see. I can't get anybody to support or get on board with what it is that I'm seeing for myself in my life. So it's time to pack it up. It's time to make my way. It's time to transform, which again is your archetype. So now we're starting to see how you being the transformer, death and rebirth, death to the old, absolutely 100% aligns with your core nature. Oh, so that's why Scorpio is called the transformer. That's why Scorpio rises up out of the ashes like the phoenix. It's because we have to actually burn it all down and move on with our lives. See, all those little things, all those details of your archetype are the superpowers you hold. As soon as you start actually living by those things, that's when you start to see massive movement. All this change begins to unfold in your life. And Scorpios, it feels like magic when you first discover this and you start to actually implement these things in your life. You feel seen by the universe. You feel like you are in the mechanics of the universe and everything is going in your favor. That's what it means to align with your actual archetype. And that's, again, partially what this entire reading is about. Aligning with your true nature on an archetypal level. What do we have at the heart, please? Okay, there's two sides here. We're going to start on this side first. So that is the Hierophant, red in its negative polarity. So this just followed everything we said, because the Hierophant from this deck is you rebelling from this now, rebelling from the group think, rebelling against these outdated belief systems. And right there it says theft and destruction. This is you realizing that this is an attack on your vital energy, peace, and divine purpose, which leads to, on this side of the card, the Knight of Swords. So this is you moving forward now very quickly. Knight of Swords is also an energy of lifestyle changes. So it's like you're seeing things much more clearly now, as outlandish as a lot of it is, and almost hard to even process because, again, we're in this third density. You very much understand that you would be doing yourself a great disservice should you not believe what it is you are seeing. What do we have at the throat, please? Lovers, Gemini energy at the throat. Now, the Lovers card from this deck for a message like this speaks about alignment. This is you coming into calibration with your higher self here. It's like your higher self has been showing you the truth. And then this is you right here. You're like, I just can't even process what it is I'm seeing. And your higher self is like, come on, I got you. We're going to quantum leap. I'm taking you to the new timeline. And then one day you just wake up and you're on that new timeline, and all this feels like some sort of fading dream. Like, did that even happen? Who were those people? And as time goes on, you start to see that those people are less and less in your life. You just never really hear about them anymore. Sure, you're still existing on the same planet, but you may as well not be, because it's like you're in a completely different dimension from these people, from these situations. And this is what it feels like when you timeline jump. But what we're seeing here is a quantum leap. So it's like you are jumping several steps ahead, because as we mentioned, you have been in a space for so long, you have completely mastered it. What do we have at the third eye, please, Spirit? Nine of Pentacles, Virgo energy at the third eye. It says right there, submission to higher order, identifies traitors and destroys their plans. And it's right underneath this mob card. So the universe is assisting you in identifying these energies in your life. And submission to higher order is the divine saying to you, Scorpio, you must surrender your independent control to your divine and universal purpose, and you must believe what it is we are showing you. Keep all of this close to your chest. You don't need to express this, which again goes back to the message regarding mastering your own superpowers. The transformation does not take place when you try and interact with these enemy energies. The transformation takes place when you move forward, when you move in silence, and you make the most empowering moves that you can make and have full control over in your everyday waking life. There's also going to be a newfound sense of stability that I feel goes without saying is going to come through on the other side of all this, Scorpio. It just really depends on what your situation is. Each and every one of you is going through something different out there. But it's just really a message where things are going to start getting progressively better. And it says right there, the omniscient God. Now that's speaking about an unlimited understanding. And I feel that that's just speaking further on this truth, this exposure. What's behind the curtain? Just because you know something doesn't mean you need to speak about it. All right, Spirit, let's close this out for my Scorpios, please. What do we have at the crown? Ace of Cups, water energy, at the crown to close out the reading, Scorpio. Now, the Ace of Cups here is an energy of emotional strength, and it's also your energy, Scorpio, along with the other water signs. So this is telling us that you have, again, completely mastered the way you react to certain spaces, to certain environments. The reaction is no reaction at all. It's movement. It's transformation. That's what this is all about. And whenever I look at this Ace of Cups, it looks like the angel here is holding, well, it's a cup, but to me, it's like a trophy. It's like you have graduated on from a certain space. And it says right there, rejuvenation, obtains the mercy of God and gives long life. So this is literally the universe saying to you, hey, Scorpio, let us show you how it's really done. It doesn't need to be as difficult as you think it is. It's actually a lot easier. It just all comes down to your reaction and the way you interface with these particular energies. But we're going to give you the source code, which again takes us back to the beginning, and help you to install that new operating system, which is your perception, which allows all of this to finally shift in your life. So Scorpios, we're going to go ahead and leave this here. I feel confident that this message has been received by the people that needed to hear it. All right, Scorpios, this is what I have for all of you. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and turn on your notifications. If you would like to join the membership side of my channel, where I upload additional videos each week, you can find the link pinned in the comment section down below. Information for personal readings can be found in the description down below. I'm also currently running a summer sale at PLUTOBEANstudio.com. You can find a number of items in the sidebar. I also have a Scorpio collection that I designed, which I think is one of the coolest collections I have. So go check that out. I would also like to extend my gratitude to all of you for your donations. Thank you very much. It's all of you that help keep my channel going and growing. But in closing, Scorpios, I would like to know how this reading resonated with you. So drop me a heart and or a comment, and I'll speak to you all again soon. Take care.